Father's father. His name was Avram Hirsch, and Natasha's grandfather was also Avraham, nicknamed Cookie. We weren't going to call him Chabakuk, so Avram there. And also the two people that introduced my in-laws, Sherelle and Alan, were Abe and Lily, so I guess it's after him too. So it's a coincidence, I can name after three people. I'll tell you one thing about Saba that always impressed me was Saba was, Avram Hirsch was the 13th of 13 Farbers, the youngest, born in 1919, right? 1918, 1919, and he grew up, you know, in Cheder and Yeshiva, and he hated it, and he kind of rebelled against it. But when he married Safta, he kind of was like, you know, it was a deal. Like, she wanted to raise the kids, you know, kosher at home, and, you know, with religious values. He had Jewish values too, but religious values. And my father and my uncle were given a choice, you know, when they grew older, whether they wanted to keep kosher or not, whether they wanted to keep Shabbos or not. And he joined a conservative shul together with Safta, and that's the way, you know, my father grew up. And I remember when, you know, luckily my father made the right decision, you know, not the right decision, but the decision to be religious and raise me that way, and that's why eventually I got here. So I have this one memory of Saba when I was he passed away when I was 11, so it must have been when I was 8 or 9, and we were at this this tailgate party at some kind of party with a lot of barbecues, and I saw Saba go to a non-kosher barbecue, and I was totally shocked because I had no idea he didn't keep kosher, but he kept kosher at home, and he always took me to kosher restaurants, and you know that was. But what amazed me was I didn't even know, like he had such a, you know, a respect for people who chose this way of life that his grandson didn't even know for 8 or 9 years that he didn't keep kosher, and he made sure that his family, you know, was raised Jewish, was raised religious, and thanks to Safta and Saba and the way they worked out their marriage, everything worked out. More than worked out, everything was great. About Ephraim. Ephraim is, first of all, after the tribe Ephraim, because Ephraim is my favorite tribe aside from Yehuda, and maybe Levi, but you know, Ephraim. Because Ephraim were secessionists. They did not accept the Ol Malchut Beit David so much. And I'm also a libertarian anarchist, even though I have respect for Malchut Beit David. I don't, you know, I'm not really into the whole king thing. And neither were Ephraim. I'm not a big fan of what Ephraim did after, you know, appointing their own king. That was a big problem. But we also live in this area as Ephraim territory. So we are in secessionist territory. We're in, and you know, Ephraim was also the big leader. I mean, there were two spies that rebelled against the other 10 spies. And one was Yeshua ben Nun, and one was Caleb ben Yehuda, Yehuda and Ephraim. The problem was Ephraim wasn't strong enough back then, because when you look at Shlach, I just noticed this a few weeks ago, when you look at Parshat Shlach, the active one who's really like saying Alo Na'aleh and everybody else be quiet and let's go, was Caleb ben Yehuda. Yeshua ben Nun doesn't really say anything, but you can tell he agrees with Caleb, but he's not strong enough to really go up, and that's why they failed. If they had worked together and like really pushed the other 10, maybe they could have overcome the riots and would have been in Eretz Yisrael much earlier. But Ephraim wasn't strong enough. So, well, I believe that when Ephraim is strong enough, things will start changing. And you know, this whole area is like a, you know, a new world order kind of thing. And everybody knows I'm a Feigelinite, and I hope he becomes prime minister out of Ephraim. I don't know if he's from Ephraim. It doesn't matter. One more thing: Ephraim is after my favorite cartoon character, Fry, Philip J. Fry from Futurama. And there's something in common with Fry and Abraham, that Alan and Cheryl, my in-laws, are actually 5th cousins. So that makes Natasha her own 6th cousin, which makes Fry his own half-7 cousin. I think that's how it goes. And something about Fry, the cartoon character, he and through some kind of time warp back to Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, he ended up becoming his own grandfather. and he lost some because of that genetic weirdness. He lost some kind of brainwave called the delta brainwave. So when in the future an army of brains attacked the planet and made everybody stupid, he lacked the brainwave to that they aimed at to make him stupid. So he was the one that saved the planet. So Efraim is his own half-seventh cousin. Efraim is his own grandfather, and I hope he saves the planet.